All right, we are now recording.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Steinmetz College Prep. This is a special meeting that we will be hosting today, October 21st. Let's do a roll call.
Mr. Harmil,
Present.
Ms. Valentine,
Present?
Mr. Keelis,
Here.
Sergeant David present, Ms. Russo, Mr. Dave Seuss,
Present.
and Ms. Hernandez.
Present.
7 members present. Time now 5:03. We have a quorum.
Thank you guys for being here today. I make a motion to approve the agenda as presented. Open for discussion. Close for discussion. Roll call vote.
Mr. Harmil,
Yes.
Ms. Valentine,
Yes?
Mr. Keelis,
Aye.
Sergeant Davis, yes. Ms. Russo,
Yes.
Mr. Dave Seuss, Ms. Hernandez.
Yes.
7 yes, no no's. Motion passed. 5:04 p.m.
So, we got the minutes, to approve from the last meeting. So I'll make a motion to approve the previous local school council minutes. Open for discussion. Close for discussion. Roll call vote.
Mr. Harmil,
Yes.
Ms. Valentine,
Yes.
Mr. Keelis, Sergeant Davis, yes. Ms. Russo,
Yes.
Mr. Dave Seuss,
Yes.
Ms. Hernandez.
Yes.
7 yes, no no's. Motion passed. 5:05 p.m.
Do we have any public participation today?
No, ma'am. Wait.
Okay, great. So the purpose of this meeting is actually to fill some of our vacancies available for the parent positions. We also have a vacancy for community. So we want to give an opportunity for those candidates to present themselves to the council. Talk a little bit about themselves, why they're so excited to join this council. Then we will, so closed session is only needed if we have more candidates than what the availability is. So it seems like we may not have to do closed session, so we'll go into the candidate participation. I thought it would be a great idea for fairness to put the candidate's name in some type of bag or bowl, take out the names, and then in that order they speak. So Master Sergeant, could you assist with that? Is that fine?
Wait, it is, but how many candidates we have? 2, right?
So I will announce all of them, but I think we have 2 online. You're one present?
Well, just to acknowledge that we had, I believe it was 5 candidates,
Correct.
but 2 are not going to run because they work for CPS.
Yes, correct.
So we have 3 left, but we do not have any community yet because we haven't announced it.
Yeah, so we're
So
announcing
we
it
have to
today.
announce it tonight
Yeah,
and then allow us to run for a month.
correct. That is the plan. So thank you, Mr. Jaramillo, for that update. We did have 5 candidates, as Mr. Jaramillo said. Unfortunately, 2 of those candidates are staffs of CPS. So they want to continue their employment with CPS, so they will not be able to be part of this council. So we have,
Madam Chair,
yes,
Mr. Goss says he filled out an application.
yeah, but the issue is that we haven't announced it, that the vacancy was available. This is the announcement. We vote for that vacancy in the next LSC meeting. So the ones that we had open were the parent positions.
How many parents?
We have 4 parent positions to fill. So we have, Ms. Adamir, are you writing them or you want me to write?
But it doesn't matter.
You write one. We can all write one. You can
So Ms. Scott is not running.
Ms. Scott's not running, and neither is Delia Ramirez. So we have Sandra Rodriguez.
Norma Lopez. and David Orozco.
Lopez,
Can can I ask?
Is David online?
yes.
I believe that 2 meetings ago, we did announce the community rep, or maybe.
We did, but it has to be closed for a certain amount of days, that's why.
Yeah, but it was 2 months ago.
Yeah, and I read this. Then they told me the last
The
time.
last forum we had was in August,
Right.
and so the last meetings don't count because it wasn't official.
Yes.
It has to be announced and put on the record that we have vacancies.
Right, but wasn't the vacancy announced in August?
No,
No.
because Ms. Lopez didn't
We
resign
received,
until
we
afterwards.
received her resignation after the local school council meeting, so we didn't make that public.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. That's your people right there. I'm kidding you right now. Now, okay, go ahead. Yep.
How many papers?
Four.
Should be only 3 candidates.
No, we have candidates, we have Sandra Rodriguez,
Right,
we have
Keep,
Norma Lopez,
right.
and David Orozco.
why you put,
Sorry, sorry, I put that twice. David Orozco, Norma, Sandra Rodriguez. Who did I write twice? Oh, I wrote David twice. Okay. Okay, go ahead.
Mr. Mr.
David Orozco. David Orozco goes make presentation first.
Do you have a time limit?
5 minutes or 2 minutes.
Norma Lopez?
Norma Lopez will be second.
And Sandra Rodriguez.
Sandra Rodriguez will do the third presentation.
We have to read.
So we put the names. We have the first candidate will be David Orozco. Second candidate will be Norma Lopez. And third candidate will be Sandra Rodriguez. So at this time, we ask Mr. David Orozco to make his presentation for the council. He's not online?
I don't see anybody online. No. What that name? No.
Okay, so David Orozco at this moment is not present. So we'll go to the next parent, which it'll be Norma Lopez.
Should he still be?
Oh, we can. Well, so Norma, really quick.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Once again, my name is Norma Lopez. I think most of you know me already. I joined the LSC as a community rep, and I've been super involved in the community. I've been part of a couple of projects. I'm a very strong advocate of equity and resources for our youth and children in this community. I strongly believe that we can achieve everything our kids deserve to have here inside their community instead of going outside of the community to receive the education they deserve to have. I think we can do and accomplish a lot if we work together, and we can change their future, making changes today. I became a parent, and that's the reason I resigned as community rep, and I'm rerunning, but this time as a parent. And I hope to rejoin the LSC, continue my advocacy and my work, and do as much as I can for Steinmetz and the community as well, which I live. Thank you.
Thank you, Norma. Okay, then our third presentation. I do have the statement for Mr. Orozco, so I'll read it after the last presentation from Ms. Sandra Rodriguez.
Yes, hi. My apologies, everyone, for not being able to join you today. And my apologies for the dog in the background. He would start barking when it's my turn to speak. I appreciate the opportunity to address all of you tonight. It's a pleasure to introduce myself. My name is Sandra Rodriguez, and I am a Steinmetz parent. To share a little bit about myself, I have 3 children. My oldest, who is with me tonight here next to me, he graduated class of 2019. My youngest son is currently a senior at Steinmetz, and I'm also the parent of a 3rd grader, a 9-year-old girl. I myself am a Steinmetz alumni, class of 97, and I've been a member of this community for over 20 years. With that said, Steinmetz is near and dear to my heart, and it's the school of choice in my family. As a parent and primary stakeholder in my son's education, I understand the value of parent engagement and the positive impact it has on academics overall. I am genuinely interested not only in my son's education, but in the education of all of our students. Through the years, I have supported many activities and events that celebrate academic achievements of students at the school, from JROTC events and competitions to back-to-school activities, the car shows, pep rallies, volleyball games, and even one of our favorites that me and my son like to look back on is the Macbeth play when he was a senior in Ms. Russo's class. We still talk about it today. It was one of our favorites, and it shows how important it is and the positive impact that parent engagement has in children overall. I value the opportunity to engage with the school and the staff, and I look forward to many more events in the future. I believe that all of us share a common goal, and that is to facilitate the best learning experience for all students. I am here to support the school administration, the teachers, non-teaching staff, parents, and students, and I look forward to working in collaboration with all of you as a member of the Steinmetz LSC. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Rodriguez.
Thank you.
I'll go ahead and read. My name is David Orozco, and I currently have a freshman, a senior who attends Steinmetz High School. Next year, my 8th grader will attend Steinmetz as a freshman as well. As a parent and community member, I believe it is my personal responsibility to advocate in the best interest of our students and help Steinmetz continue to grow. It's also important for me to show my children the value of giving back to our school community by being involved. One of the areas I'm passionate about is building awareness for the arts. In my professional career, I've worked hard to build an art shop in the community. It's my goal to use my knowledge and resource of the art community to help enhance the experience of Steinmetz students through expanding experiences where students can help them reach their full potential and give them positive outlet for expression. Please consider my application for local school council parent position. I look forward with all of you to continue building and developing a school our students and community deserve. Gratefully yours, David Orozco. So that concludes the presentation for the parents that have met the timeline and submitted on a timely manner. So I move us into doing a motion to voting for these candidates. So we'll start as we call them out, I would say, on voting. And we could do there. I know that we have a parent here that's been interested. We consider you, but we do have to follow the protocol. So we will take your application at the end and then ask you to return with us the next LSC meeting, which allows us to open it up if we need to recruit more parents for those positions. So I talked a lot and now I lost my position. Okay, so we are going into voting, right, Mr. De Jesus? That's what I said, right? Yeah. Straight to voting. So I make a motion to vote. The first candidate is David Orozco. So roll call vote. I make a motion to vote David Orozco to the Steinmetz LSC Council. I need someone to second.
The reason you didn't get a second, ma'am, and we had to do the vote, but because the person is not here, it'd be counted as an absent meeting. And then we'll type a position up and then we have to wait 3 months again to close it. So I suggest we don't make this vote on this person. That's probably why we have silence.
But
I agree with you, is that
So-
really the rule?
But we still gotta go to the vote. But
no,
I'm
so
just saying.
yeah, so I need someone to second, we could have that in discussion, and then it's up to each individual if they wanna vote for that person or not. I feel you,
Yeah.
I understand that,
Yeah,
but then let's let it be an individual vote. So I make a motion to vote Mr. David Orozco for the first vacancy available for the Steinmetz College Prep LSC, right? So, anyone could second?
But now we're back at square one. If you don't get a second, it's another vote.
All second, so that at least we can have a discussion.
Yeah. So open for discussion,
Again, and I don't know how anybody else feels. Once you tie this position up and the person's not here, you have to wait to three visits, 3 months to open it up again. So my recommendation is, we do not elect this person.
okay? Any other discussion?
No, I agree with, I think, David, because, you know, if we start, we're gonna start with the right foot. And having people that are, just filling out applications and not showing up for their own voting, it's not right. When I see parents and community members that are coming here today, showing their faces, having an application and not even able to vote for them. That's my comment.
Any other, open for discussion, any other comments?
Yeah, just a point of clarification, so would that candidate be able to apply once we open it up again?
Well,
Right, that doesn't disqualify them. right?
Yeah,
It's
I mean-
not disqualifying, if the application
The application
continues
is
to
active.
stay here, when we do the next meeting, that it's called for that, we could, you know, at least here, we hear about it. If the position is open and is there.
So Ms. Valentine, will you give the candidate a call to let them know that?
I will do that, just like I did before, definitely to see where they're at. So yeah, we'll definitely follow up. So, that is closed for discussion, roll call vote.
Mr. Jaramillo,
No?
Ms. Valentine,
No.
Ms. Keelis,
Hey,
Sergeant Davis, no. Ms. Russo,
No.
Mr. De Jesus, Ms. Hernandez,
No.
7 no's, no yes, motion failed, 5:20 p.m.
Okay, we're still with 4 vacancies. So, the next person that I make a motion to vote, as a parent to sit in the Steinmetz Local School Council, is Ms. Norma Lopez.
I'll second.
Open for discussion. Close for discussion, roll call vote.
Mr. Jaramillo,
Yes.
Ms. Valentine,
Yes.
Mr. Keelis,
yes,
Sergeant Davis, yes. Ms. Russo,
Yes.
Mr. De Jesus,
Yes.
Ms. Hernandez,
Yes.
7 yes, no no's, motion passed, 5:21 p.m.
Great. That leaves us with 3 vacancies. We're going to fill a 3rd vacancy, another vacancy in the council. We'll vote in, to sit in the Steinmetz LSC, Ms. Sandra Rodriguez.
I'll second.
Open for discussion. Close for discussion, roll call vote.
Mr. Jaramillo,
Yes.
Ms. Valentine,
Yes.
Mr. Keelis,
yeah,
Sergeant Davis, yes. Ms. Russo,
Yes.
Mr. De Jesus,
Yes.
Ms. Hernandez,
Yes.
7 yes, no no's, motion passed, 5:22 p.m.
Great. Now, I did get advice from LSC Relations because we do have 2 council members online. I must present a motion to allow them to participate online for whatever medical reasons and reasons they may have for joining online. I'll be clear to the members, we are asking you to be proactive with us and be present. But we are making a motion for today's meeting to allow you to participate as LSC members of Steinmetz College Prep. So the motion is to allow them to participate via
I'll second.
open for discussion.
Yeah, Madam Chair, I would like to say that, most of the things that LSC relation gives to the schools is recommendation. And it's up to us to make sure that we follow some of those recommendations. But like I said, it's recommendation. Some of the rules that we go by as a LLC at a local level, it depends on us, how we want to run it. For example, there are schools that are running that if an LLC member is not online, but it could be either or. And that is taken from the local school council itself to decide that. It was kind of erratic when I heard in the last meeting that I had to be present when I've been hearing left and right, present or not present, and it's a confusing kind of thing for the LSC members. So I think that us as LSC members of Steinmetz, we should take a stand and come to an agreement that if it's a council member that cannot be present in their virtual, that we could allow them either to vote or be part of the meeting. And I think like I said again, we're not breaking any rules. We're going by recommendations, and some of these recommendations, believe me, they would not stand in a court.
So I know there was a motion, so I
That's
see that as
the
part of,
discussion.
but that we didn't even get a second for that
Yeah,
motion.
we got a
You
second.
did, okay. So I hear you, Jose, and I think that we're all trying to do the best we can. Let's be realistic, this council has not had quorum for the last 2-3 months. That's a responsibility that we all take. When we decided to run for these positions, I think we could make those decisions when we have a council to make those decisions, right? So I think it's fair to say that I hear you. We could put that in the next month's agenda for discussion, since you have more of an LSC there, and hear from everyone, right? So I understand your concern. I understand these are all recommendations. We're all trying to do the right thing. So I, suggest Master Sergeant, Mr. Jaramillo, as this is coming up, that maybe in our next meeting, we could have that as a discussion and come into some agreement of how that's gonna look, if it's in person, if it's online, taking people into consideration. I think we're just trying to get back to business. We're trying to do all we can. As we know that some of these votes, some of these decisions are important to be made. So definitely hear you out. So if we could just take that into consideration for the next meeting.
This is discussion that, just a point of clarification, I don't know what the technicalities would be, but if we were to make that decision as a council to allow online and not, would that be like something that would happen through bylaws, or is that just something that's given to us based off of the current state laws and CPS rules, or how does anybody know what that would be?
It was in the email that you sent. What it is that the LSC chairs can choose in person or online. If we elect to be online, you can have a combination of both. It's just like the email said, at least one person had to be in school just in case someone come here. We had that in our last meeting. But the only thing is, if you're online, where you are, it has to be verified, those things. But right now, like Ms. Aljean said, so that means next month meeting, we all have to be here so we can make the decision and we can discuss it. I said, until then, everyone probably just need to look at because we're guessing at some of the things, look at the policies, you email them out, and then when we come here next month, we'll have a more informed decision. So I probably wouldn't even, not saying waste time discussing it today, but I think that we have to all look at it. So not to take my word what it says or anybody else's word what it says, and we'll be ready to discuss it next month.
So we have homework to do and see how that plays out, because I really don't know. Okay, so close for discussion, roll call vote.
Mr. Jaramillo?
Could you restate what the motion was?
The motion is to allow Ms. Norma Lopez and Ms. Sandra Rodriguez to participate as local school council members via online, because that's where they're at the moment.
Yes.
Ms. Valentine,
Yes.
Mr. Keelis,
Aye.
Son Davis. Yes, Ms. Russo,
Yes.
Mr. DeSantis,
Yes.
Ms. Hernandez,
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
No, they're not.
They're members, full members, they have to vote now.
Yes.
Okay, vote online?
That's
Yes.
why we did the motion so they could be able to vote.
Well, we're in the middle of the motion right now.
Right,
Well,
they-
Oh, so
don't
you don't
for
vote
this
this time,
motion.
you don't.
They'll vote for other
Seven,
votes.
seven yes, no nos.
For any other votes, not this one.
7 yes, no nos, motion passed 5:29 p.m.
So congratulations to Norma Lopez and Sandra Rodriguez.
Thank you.
Welcome, we have a list of work to do. Thank you so much for that. We, just like we stated, if the next meeting, you guys could join us physically so we could have a discussion, make the decision how we're gonna proceed moving forward.
I'm sorry, I think technically they can vote now that we've said.
Now,
Yes.
now,
Yes.
now for the next items they can.
Sure.
Yeah. So you could cast your first votes in the next following items. I do wanna also clarify, we have 2 parent vacancies available. We have 1 community rep vacancy available. So we are accepting applications and we will accept them to the week before our LSC meeting.
Yeah, so our next LSC meeting, even though we're not done yet, but our next LSC meeting is not going to be on a Thursday because of, I believe it's Veterans Day.
A holiday,
It's a
yeah.
holiday, but it will be on Wednesday, November 10th. So the applications, process for the 1 community vacancy is being announced now. And the 2 parent vacancies are being announced now, and the applications will be due by Friday, November 5th. Let me just make sure that's a school day. There's no other holidays.
No, it's
Is it-
November 5th.
Yes,
It's a school day for us, but not for kids.
okay, so that's not gonna work.
I think I'm right on that. 'cause
Yeah.
So do the
You're right,
Thursday.
School improvement, so Thursday, November 4th is the deadline to receive all applications.
Awesome, thank you so much. And then after we fill all the vacancies, we'll have a full functioning council. Then at that time, there has to be an election of a FOIA officer. That's a very important position that we need to make sure that is filled once we clear all these vacancies. So the next item in the agenda will be budget transfer discussions. So I'll turn it over to Mr. Jaramillo to make that motion and we could do the voting as you presented it to us.
So,
I'm sorry?
yeah. Unfortunately, the new members don't have the documents.
Got it.
They're new members.
Yeah.
So, Master said he was able to email that to them? I don't have.
You wanna?
Yes, I can email it.
Yeah, so,
Can I have
so
the email
Norma
address?
and Sandra, we're going to email you the transfer. So,
You want to-
oh, their email address.
Those are not here.
Let me see. No, they're not.
Maybe if they could type it in the chat.
Well, we know Norma Lopez's email.
Oh, I have it.
Previous,
I got it.
and you have Ms. Rodriguez
Yes.
already, so.
So,
Alright, so Ms. Lopez and Ms. Rodriguez, just give us a minute, Master Sergeant is going to email you the documents that we're gonna be considering. So just give us a minute for him to send that to you.
Okay,
Thank you, Mr. Jaramillo.
You're welcome.
While we're waiting, Mr. Jaramillo, how many applications do we have for community and parents at this time?
Well, if you're still considering the parent that.
No, besides the ones we're already
Okay,
in.
so it's just one, because that already closed. And then the community one.
So one parent, one community?
Yes. We accepted it, although it wasn't officially open yet.
Okay. Thank you. We're just waiting for the items to be emailed to the members.
Did you say just did it?
Yeah,
I think
he said
they should have it.
Okay, you should already have it. If you could check your emails. If you could do a thumbs up or thumbs whatever, something saying we're ready to go.
I received mine, thank you.
Norma?
Yes, I received mine too. Thank you.
Okay, great.
Great. So I don't have a extensive frequency report. I just kept the items that we may cover during the last meeting. So I already sent the items, the emails. So the first, there's some budget transfers. One item on the budget transfer is the CTE funding to supply line that's provided to us by CTE. So it's just moving it from the CTE source to an actual line that CTE can spend it on. The second one, for consideration is security funding from equipment to supplies. This money has already been allocated for security, but it was for equipment. So the difference is if you want to buy something that's under $500, it's considered a supply. If you buy something over $500, it's considered equipment. So in order to provide for security uniforms, those individual items are under $500 a piece. So we're asking to transfer the allocated security funding from the equipment to supplies.
And Ms. Radamino, and with that, you mentioned you're buying uniforms
Yes,
for security?
yeah, I forgot, I'm sorry, hold on, let me get the document completed off. Yes, you want to say? Yes, so it's to transfer from equipment to supply line to purchase supplies and uniforms for security. We have new security members who will be joining us at some point, and I want to be ready to be able to purchase uniforms regarding this. Mr. Quiles did reach out to me earlier last month. I did find out CPS does have specific guidance regarding uniforms. So we're gonna go ahead and try to follow that guidance as far as pattern and logos and different things to make sure that our security matches the rest of CPS. All right. The next line is transfer from cell tower installation program to a supply line to purchase recruitment supplies, school advertising materials, special recognitions, and awards. We have funding that comes from the cell towers that are on top of our building. That money we can use however we see fit as a school and a council. So I would like to propose that we transfer $5,000 so that we can go ahead and buy recruitment supplies. I know Master Sergeant was out at, I believe it was Lock, and we gave out a little bit that we had left of some recruitment supplies, giveaways, different things for our students, some school advertising materials, and then special recognition awards for our students and community members and staff, so that we can celebrate accomplishments. The next two are basically salary pointer lines to clear negative bucket pointer lines. So basically, it's just salary. Just from salary pointer line to clear negative bucket pointer line, and transfer from benefit pointer line to clear negative benefit pointer line. Then the next one, cell tower funding for washer and dryer. So I already removed these from your packets, but last month, the one that was submitted was for STLS funding. Felix did reach out after reviewing it, and he did have some questions about whether it would have to be exclusively for STLS or not. There was some confusion about that. I did reach out to the STLS coordinator that we work with, and that is the case that a washer dryer has to be used exclusively for STLS students. So we have students who are STLS, meaning students in temporary living situations who are on teams or who need clothes washed or whatever, and that was the original intent. But we cannot guarantee that those are the only groups that are gonna be using that washer and dryer. If we have sports teams, or if we have, let's say, ROTC, or we have a special art project and kids spill paint and they wanna throw something in there, in order to make it more usable for everybody in the building, it would be better to use a different funding source. So I pulled out that sheet of paper and resubmitted the proposal to come from cell tower funding. So that way it's more flexible, so we don't have to worry about whether somebody's not authorized to use it, a different group or whatever can use it. So that's for a washer and dryer.
So that means that everybody could use it while making this
Yeah,
search, okay?
everybody, any program could use it. All right, so that's that for budget transfers. Then there's a request that I added, but that's for internal account budget transfer, which I will talk about it separate, because that's a separate motion.
Correct.
So I'd like to make a motion to approve the budget transfers as stated.
I'll second. Open for discussion. This makes me happy, and thanks Jose for, making sure that it included the washer and dryer for everyone. I was taken away when I found out that, we don't lift up our staff, high enough sometimes, and many parents don't realize that we have staff that are washing our kids' uniforms in their own personal time. And I only learned that from communicating, right, with this person after hours. And I'm not gonna credit due where it's at. Mr. De Jesus washes the uniforms of all the football team. When I found that out, made me feel first really bad as a parent, because I'm like, oh my God, I should be wearing a uniform. But then I also understood, right, as we say that we're spending in sports, his answer was right on, that's a way to conserve, right? Some of these uniforms, because sometimes we wash and we'll put it in whatever, we're in a rush, and we'll put it in the dryer, and there goes the uniform. So thank you for that, because that means a lot. So thank you for whomever made this a priority, and I think that's important, so I just wanted to share that. So,
And if I could add to that, we have a lot of students that are in the STLS program who are also athletes. And they can't always have the resources to go wash their uniforms or do whatever they need to. In addition, our counselors, especially Ms. Diaz, on their own time have provided, ways to wash, provided soap, different things. Some of the supplies we buy, of course, from STLS funding, but they go out of their way to make sure the kids come in and have the appropriate clothes that they need. We do have kids who will come in the building and we see them, and who their clothes need a little bit of help, and we'll pull them on the side and very respectfully just offer to help out and whatever, because we don't know what the situations are. And to be honest with you, we have these situations with kids who are STLS, as well as kids who are not STLS, who don't identify as STLS. They don't have the resources, but they're not officially in the program, but we still find a way to help out those students as well. So I think it's about basic humanity and making sure that if people have, can come to school and have the supplies that they need and can have clean uniforms. And I know ROTC does it too. They have stock of uniforms. They're always helping out, trying to reach out to the kids and getting whatever they need so that no child has to feel less than any other. So I appreciate the consideration for this.
any other discussions in regards to the budget transfers? Okay, close for discussion. Roll call vote.
Mr. Arneo,
Yes?
Ms. Valentine,
Yes.
Mr. Keelis,
Aye.
Son Davis, yes, Ms. Russo,
Yes.
Mr. De Jesus, Ms. Hernandez,
Yes.
Ms. Lopez,
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
9 yes, no no's, motion passed 5:47 p.m.
Thank you, everybody. The next consideration is an internal account budget transfer. And just to clarify, those budget transfers don't happen on these forms that I gave all of you. These budget transfers have to be reflected in the LSC minutes, for internal accounts transfers. Those transfers occur in the, Oracle system. And, so what I have to do is when I put a motion, I have to specifically say from what account to what account and how much that transfer is for. So, so what I would like to, ask is that we have internal accounts for, student activities, that we've collected from student fees. Part of the situation is that we currently do not have any funds in, prom, fees, because we haven't collected that from the students yet. But in order to make sure we have the proper venue, we have to put in a down payment, a deposit, to make sure that we have the place. So we want to lock in, the Hyatt Regency O'Hare, which we've been using for years. And so I would like to put in a proposal that the council allow us to go ahead and, put in a transfer from student activity money for the amount of $1,450 into the senior prom account so that we can make a check for the deposit. And then, once we collect the money from senior prom, probably at the end of the year, we will then, come back and ask for another motion to take money from senior prom and transfer it back to student activity.
We have to check.
So I know it's a very long motion, I don't know if I can really shorten it, but,
Temporarily transfer money.
yeah, so I would like to make a motion to temporarily transfer $1,450 from student activities to senior prom, which will be returned once we collect senior prom fees later in the school year.
Second.
Open for discussion?
Does this require supermajority? No.
I do not know.
And I just want to make sure if we change it, so it may require, but we can just ask later. We can just go ahead and do it now and ask later.
Mr. Jaramillo, more or less, when do you think realistically we will see a transfer back? Like, when do you think the motion to put it back, like maybe,
I would say, depending on when everything happens, I would say probably it could be May or June,
Okay.
but if
It's
it's,
late May, so.
yeah, but if it's earlier, it's earlier, because, we start collecting funds.
yeah, it's more or less, right? Just
It's probably May or
Late May, yeah. Late May.
Okay.
Can I ask a question? Since we're putting $1,400 deposit, what is the total cost?
I'd have to look up the contract. It's gonna take me a while, I have to look through all my emails, I'm sorry.
Is it
Is it gonna be in the
If
same?
you're generally, if you're gonna general number is usually, if you're talking dollar amount, it's generally around $19,000 just for the hotel. But that could be different based on this year's contract, but that's going by previous years.
Okay,
Thank you.
close for discussion, roll call vote,
Mr. Jaramillo,
Yes,
Ms. Valentina,
yes?
Mr. Keeler, Don Davis, yes, Ms. Russo,
Yes.
Mr. Davis,
Yes.
Ms. Hernandez, Ms. Lopez, Ms. Lopez,
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez,
Yes.
9 yes, no no's, motion passed, 5:46 PM.
thank you very much, everyone, Mr. Keeler, I will get you an answer on that, but I will get you an answer on that.
Thank you.
On a random comment, I've already had kids talking about prom and how excited they are about the possibility of a real prom. You know what I mean? Like, at an actual location. So I'm thinking this year it might be a pretty big turnout because kids are really excited about the possibility of having it back in a hotel like it was. So it's gonna be big.
That is all I have for, motions regarding budget transfers. Now we just need to, include internal accounts.
Yes, sir. I make a motion to approve the attorney account is submitted. Was the attorney account part of the email? Yes.
Sorry?
Was the attorney account part of the email that I sent to the team? It was the
Yeah, it
last
was in
email.
the, yeah.
It was in the packet.
So again, I make a motion to approve the attorney account is submitted.
I'll second it.
Open for discussion. Close for discussion, roll call vote,
Ms. Harmel,
Yes?
Ms. Valentine,
yes?
Mr. Keelis, Davis, yes, Ms. Russo,
Yes.
Mr. De Jesus,
Yes.
Ms. Hernandez,
Yes.
Ms. Lopez,
Yes.
and Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
9 yes, no no, motion passed 5:48 PM.
Any final thoughts? No, I make a motion, oh,
Excuse me, I wanted to ask, Mr. Jaramillo, in the accounts, weren't you going to cover those, negatives? That was part of the,
Yeah, we did,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, just wanted to make sure that we cover it all.
yeah, no problem.
that was with the first one we did.
I'd just like to make one more announcement before we adjourn. Again, just to clarify, this is a big one because our meetings were always on Thursdays. Our next meeting will be November 10th at 5 o'clock. We'll send out the information on Wednesday, November 10th. I'm sorry?
Wednesdays is, what we got, that's okay.
I mean, it's because of the holiday.
No, it's that we have, most of the schools, we have our meetings on Wednesdays. We have the first Wednesday, the second Wednesday, and the third Wednesday.
Okay.
So for final thought, I wanna take the time to, celebrate Mr. Jaramillo and our admin team. It's Principal Appreciation Month. I think we don't do a good job in talking about this in our meetings, but I've been following, how, you know, our principals are being resilient. You know, I know that there's times where there could be tension. Accountability comes with our role, right? But I think we all appreciate your leadership. We appreciate what you and the admin team is doing here at Steinmetz. So it is your month. You should be celebrated and you should be acknowledged. So thank you so much for your leadership in principle. And
On that note, I want to say a thank you to the administration we are having our first senior event tomorrow. We're going to the corn maze, the Richardson Adventure Farm, which is always a big, exciting trip. And so the kids are really, really looking forward to it. So thank you for supporting us in that way. You know, the kids weren't sure how normal a year this was going to be. And so we're starting out strong. We had a really strong homecoming and now we're having their first event. And so I'm really grateful that we're able to do that.
awesome. Thank you. I also just want to thank Mr. Walter for sending us the link to get our feedback in regards lunches. This is not the meeting for that, but I just wanted to acknowledge that has been received and we appreciate that. So with that, if no one else has anything else, I make a motion to adjourn our special meeting for today. Adjourn?
Yes, after that, sorry.
Open for discussion, close for discussion, roll call vote.
Negative. Oh,
We.
Mr. Jaramillo,
Yes.
Ms. Valentine,
Yes.
Mr. Keelis, Sergeant Davis,
You got a question?
yes, Ms. Russo,
Yes.
Mr. De Jesus,
Yes.
Ms. Hernandez,
Yes.
Ms. Lopez,
Yes.
and Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Thank you.
Welcome aboard, new members.
9 yes, no no, motion passed
Welcome, thank you
5:52.
guys, the new members, and we'll see you next month.
Thank you. See you next time.
Alright, I'll go ahead and stop the recording.
Get better.
When do you all expect to get the new officers?
Check your email,
We
Commander.
voted, that was the first thing we did.
Mr. Rodriguez, check your email.
I heard